Hello there.
Welcome back to the channel, my fellow brown codes. It is your boy Elie Moses, your 22-year-old law and film student here from Sydney, Australia, shooting his shot, baby. And yes, today we are up to episode 7 of Firefly, titled Jaynestown. So yeah, we are going to waste no more time. We are going to get right into the reaction. I have a strong inclination that this episode is going to focus on Jayne. It is titled Jaynestown. And yeah, last episode, our Mrs. Reynolds, we focused on Malcolm, you know, and his relationship with Saffron, his wife, allegedly. We saw what happened with that. That was an absolute banger of an episode from a writing standpoint. Absolutely fantastic. The previous episode, you know, we had a Simon River focus with the crew making a hilarious save at the end. And then the episode before that, I believe, was more of a focus on Inara. So as the episodes are coming along, characters are getting more of a focus towards like the plot of certain episodes. So last episode we had Malcolm. Previous episode, I believe, was River and Simon. And then the previous episode before that was, I believe, Inara and Kaylee, I believe. But this episode's titled Jaynestown. I have a feeling who's gonna be sorely revolved around and I think it's gonna be Jayne. But yeah, let's waste no more time. Let's get right into the reaction. Let's go.
I use swear words like anybody else.
Oh, really? See, I never heard you. So when is it that you do all this cussing after I go to bed, or?
I swear when it's appropriate.
Simon, the whole point of swearing is that it ain't appropriate. Hey there, Nora. Heading off for some glamorous romance?
Let's hope so. See you two tomorrow. Don't let Mal get you into too much trouble while I'm gone.
I know. Have good sex. What?
Yo, Kaylee's one of them innocent, not so innocent types, eh? She experienced, I reckon, in the bedroom.
Oh. Now this would be a perfect time for a swear word.
What happened in here?
Need to find some tape.
So you had to tear my infirmary apart?
Apparently.
Oh my god. You're like a trained ape without the training.
Jayne, I told you we're setting down on the Canton factory settlement on Higgins Moon.
Yep, that you did.
Canton don't allow guns in their town.
Yes, sir. That's why I ain't strapping one to my hip.
No, that's why you ain't strapping one anywhere.
Oh, listen, Mal, I was in Canton a few years back. I might have made me a few enemies thereabouts.
Enemies? You? No, how can it be?
Just don't like the idea of going in there empty-handed is all.
Why are you still arguing what's been decided?
My man trying to recreate the Get Rich or Die Trying album right there. 50 Cent with the strap-ons.
Zoe, you're holding down the fort. Call ahead to Bernoulli, let him know I have his merchandise end of the week. Don't I usually stay with the ship?
I outrank you. Have fun.
I don't know, River.
Go on. I'm a shepherd, after all. I should be able to keep my eye on a flock of what?
I'm not going that far, Doctor. You might maybe make yourself useful.
Dialogue in this show is so good.
Come again?
The management here don't take too kindly to sightseers, which is why we're posing as buyers. There ain't a one of us that looks apart more than the good doctor. Soft hands, definitely a moneyed individual. All rich and lily white, pasty all over.
All right. Fine. I'll go. Just stop describing.
You're the boss. Boss.
He's the boss now? Day keeps getting better and better.
Jayne dressed like he's going skiing, and I didn't see a snow mountain in sight. Lots of Southern California.
Yes, I'm looking to buy some mud.
Well then, come to the right place.
I was about to say, the suit is going to be ruined with a mud slap, and it was.
Of course we can handle any volume here. We have over 2,000 workers, mostly indentures. We pay them next to nothing. That way we can pass the savings directly onto you, the customer.
Saving? Excellent. That's because as I said before, I'm gonna be needing quite a bit of it. I'm a buyer.
Best of its kind.
Now, you guys pointed out a few episodes ago. I can't remember which episode it was, but it was the episode where the actor that plays Jayne it was Mal and Jayne, or Mal and Badger conversating, and Jayne was right there in the middle. And he was, despite having no dialogue, he was still very active in the scene, and I really enjoy that from the actors. And I learned from that as well, observing certain what actors do in the background rather than just being anonymous. He was sort of being hilarious, and it made the conversation a bit more interesting. Oh, what's Jayne doing? What's he up to in that? Even though he was just getting sandwiches, it just adds that little bit more dynamism to the scene. And right there again, while the dialogue was overlapping, we had wide shots of what was going on, sort of in this mud mine or whatever, where they're creating mud. I like those wide shots of what's going, the operations, as the guy was talking about, you know, how much they get paid. They get paid really low, so they, you know, they can lay it off to their buyers. And then as well, I like the sort of medium close-up shots we had of Jayne in his disguise, because he previously talked about, you know, having his enemies. And while we're listening to the dialogue, we're looking at Jayne, you know, overlooking his shoulder and everything like that. And I love how this show makes me a bit more observant, and I hopefully you guys enjoy my observing nature in terms of picking out certain things and those little tidbits. It's very complex, and I love it.
We mix it, we brick it raw right here at the premises. You have the right catalyst, you kiln it proper. This stuff's 10 times stronger than steel, and half the way.
I'm sure the foreman has things need attending. Why don't we wander a bit, take a look at the operation, then you can figure on whether we get an account.
Yes? Yes. Yes, we'll wander a bit.
Fair enough. Come to see me when you're through.
Always gonna get us killed. Just do this deal and get.
This disguise ain't half as funny as yours. We used to be anywhere.
You haven't been here in years, Jayne. You really think you need that get up? No one's gonna remember you.
Why Jayne looking like the
Impossible,
killer
they
from
were.
Zodiac? They have a statue of Jayne. No one's gonna remember him. It's alright. They just idealized him.
Bitch.
There's the swearing.
Take my love, take my land, take me where I cannot stand. I don't care.
I'm still free.
You can't take the sky from me.
You wanna tell me how come there's a statue of you here and looking at me like I own something?
Wishing I could, Captain.
No, seriously. Jayne, you wanna tell me?
No, I got no rotten idea. I was here a few years back, like I said. Pulled a second story, stole a lot of scratch from the magistrate up on the hill. But things went off. Had to hightail it. Put you on a pedestal in town square.
Yeah, except I'm looking at some very compelling evidence says they do.
This must be what going mad feels like. I think they captured him, though. You know, captured his essence.
Looks sort of angry, don't he?
It's kind of what I meant.
Chief 4 on duty. Chief 4 on duty.
Come on, Gorilla. Got a job. Let's go do it. Get the hell out of here. I crossed the magistrate of this company town. Understand?
I love how taken aback they are
Ain't
by it.
exactly a forgiving sort of guy.
Just admiring it.
Magistrate Higgins, I would presume.
You may, but I only make the people I own use my title. Mr. Higgins will do fine.
And you can call me Inara, Mr. Higgins.
It's a rare pleasure. Your visit to my little moon. Journey wasn't too taxing.
Not at all. I'm refreshed and ready. Shall we begin at, say, 7:30?
Perfect. I have a feeling it will take all your arts to deal with this particular problem.
Every problem, Mr. Higgins, is an opportunity in disguise.
I love how first impressions tell a lot. And Anara, literally first line of dialogue.
What are we up to?
Talking
sweetheart?
about ownage, and she's like,
your Bible.
not gonna be a good companion.
What?
Not gonna be a good sort of
Bible's broken.
person.
Contradictions, false logistics. Doesn't make sense.
No, you can't.
So we'll integrate non-progressional evolution theory with God's creation of Eden. 11 inherent metaphoric parallels already there. Noah's Ark is a problem.
Really?
We'll have to call it early quantum state phenomenon. Only need to fit 5,000 species of mammal on the same boat.
Give me that. Maybe you don't fix the Bible.
It doesn't make sense.
It's gonna be interesting.
It's not about making sense. It's about believing in something and letting that belief be real enough to change your life.
Facts.
It's about faith.
Facts.
You don't fix faith, River. It fixes you. You hang on to those now.
That was an interesting sort of cut to the Serenity and having that conversation with Shepard and River, rather than just
Can't be a statue of me.
you know, rather than us just sort of assuming the entire episode, rather than us sort of assuming the entire episode, you know, River and Shepard, they're just on the ship, they're doing fine, and the sole focus is going to be, you know, on Jayne. What's going to happen here with Canton knowing who he is and the statue and what he's done. I like that little exchange of dialogue there. Sort of that philosophical questioning of, you know, the smartest basically individual alive in River. That's what I think she is. You know, really questioning Shepard's, you know, beliefs and the Bible. I really enjoyed that scene. It was short, but it was really effective, and it's got me thinking now of those two characters while this scene's gonna play out.
It's horrific. It works for the Egyptians.
What's that?
And the ancient Egyptians. Back on Earth it was. Not so different from the ancestral form of beer they fed the slaves to build their pyramids. Liquid bread. Kept them from starving and knocked them out at night so they wouldn't be inclined to insurrection.
Wow, Simon, that was so historical.
What's a gussied up fellow like you doing in a place like this?
Shake your head, boy. Your eyes are stuck. Get.
I think little Malfoy over there recognized Jayne.
You wouldn't be looking for Kessler. Just having a brew.
Jayne,
Here's your tomato.
the man they call Jayne.
That was interesting.
Robbed from the rich and he gave to the poor. Stood up to the man and he gave him what for.
Robin Jayne, not Robin Hood.
Hard to explain. The hero of Canton, the man they call Jayne.
Oh, he's a hero.
Our Jayne saw the mutters' backs breaking.
Even better reactions from the characters than when they saw the statue.
And he saw the magistrate taking every dollar and leaving 5 cents. So he said, "You can't do that to my people. Can't crush them
Jay?
under your heel."
Yeah, Mel.
Jayne strapped on his hat.
You got any light you'd like to shed on this development?
Stole everything from
No, Mel.
No. This must be what going mad feels like.
Ain't hard to explain. The hero of Canton, the man they call Jayne.
I don't know if he's a hero or if this is a way to flesh him out.
Here is what
With the song.
separates heroes from
Flush him out, sorry.
folk like you and I. Man they call Jayne, he turned around his plane and let that money hit the sky.
Go ahead, that's why that cash. I stole that money from Higgins, like the song says. Lifted me one of his hovercraft. I got tagged by anti-aircraft. Started losing altitude. Had to dump them strong boxes. Stay airborne.
Oh, Higgins, that's the guy Inara's with.
60,000. Untraceable. Then I drop it right square in the middle of Mud Farmer Central.
But I want to put them back, so.
Sorry. What's that?
Oh, Shepard Einstein, what the
River?
heck?
River, come back!
Preacher, what the hell did you say? Whoa.
Captain, now they off the subject to me. Shouldn't we be getting the hell out of here?
I'd say that's a reasonable request given the circumstances.
Rotten mutters.
Oh, I knew it was the Malfoy kid that freaking sussed him out.
He's come back. It's Jayne.
Hero
Colonel Canton won't be drinking that Shung Man here. He drinks the best whiskey in the house.
What's going on? This is how people lay low where you're from?
Not generally, no.
Listen, friend, I came here to make sure a deal went down solid. Not to get chopped up by the Canton tribe crew and fed to the bog.
I understand your concerns, friend. This was all part of our new plan.
Nara, allow me to introduce my son, Fess Higgins.
Hello, Fess. Mr. Higgins, this shuttle is a place of union. I'm sure you can appreciate
What is this? I brought you here to bed, my son, not throw him a tea party.
Sir, the companion greeting ceremony is a ritual with centuries of
My
tradition.
son is 26 years old, and he ain't yet a man.
Like heels.
26. And since he can't find a willing
Mr.
woman
Higgins,
himself...
you're not allowed here. Now, why don't you go on and let us begin our work?
No, listen here, young lady.
Good night, Mr. Higgins.
Damn. My guy ain't a man yet, and he's gonna pay
It's a
for
bit
it.
more peaceful.
Or get his daddy to pay for
Will you
it.
sit?
That's an L. That's a massive L.
You know, I've saved lives. Dozens. Maybe hundreds. I retouched a girl's leg. Her whole leg. She named her hamster after me. I got a hamster. He drops a box of money. He gets to town.
This is nice.
To Jayne. The box dropping many gone wrong thing.
You know what? Unless I missed
You
it.
are pretty funny.
Unless I missed it. Did I have they conversated, Simon and Kaylee, since the interaction involving the plate she was going to gift to Simon, and then when Simon called it, I think, a piece of crap or something, and you saw Kaylee's reaction, she was really let down. Have they conversated since then? Because it seemed like Simon was in Kaylee's bad books for a bit, and then at the start of this episode they were conversating about swearing, and I guess we're meant to think that, you know, time's passed a bit and they've healed that wound and they're just conversating about something, and it's just, yeah, it's just brushed over. So
You're pretty.
pretty.
What
a guess.
What did you just say?
Just say that you're pretty.
The truth.
Even when you're covered in engine grease, you're. No, it's especially when you're covered in engine grease.
It's a turn
Time
on.
to get out of this nut house. What's he planning to work out?
Now, Captain, things are going so well.
I suppose. Jayne's certainly feeling better about life, but
I
no, really, we
said things are going well.
Oh, well.
Well.
Well, I tell you what. Jayne is stuck here with his adoring masses. Why don't you and Simon hang around and keep an eye on him for me?
I feel like Mal treats Kaylee like his little daughter. Or niece.
The ceiling will cave in. His brains are in terrible danger.
It's the rules of my order. Like the book. It symbolizes.
River, honey, he's putting the hair away now.
Doesn't matter. It'll still be there. Waiting.
Oh, no more Shepard Einstein.
Where you guys been? Mal, Bernoulli's chomping at the bit. Says he wants his merchandise yesterday.
Yeah, well, we still got a few wrinkles to work out on the deal.
Oh, Jayne is a bona fide folk hero. Got a song and everything.
Oh, it's you've been drinking, husband.
That he has. Don't make it any less the case.
You tell me that Jayne.
It's true. True enough, we can use it. Anyways, we talked a few pillars of the Mutter community into having a little Jayne Day celebration in Town Square tomorrow. It should buy us enough of a distraction to get the stolen goods out from under the foreman and his crew of prods.
It's not embarrassing to be a virgin.
My
It's
guy.
simply one state of being.
My guy.
As far as bringing me here, companions choose the people they're to be with very carefully. For example, if your father had asked me to come here for him, I wouldn't have.
Really?
Really, Fess.
Oh, what you got, Fess? Let's see what you got.
So the
Aw,
magistrate,
man.
he let you folks keep all that cash?
And it pained him, that's for dead sure. When he found out, he sent his prods in to take it back from us, but the workers resisted.
Fought the law, huh?
If the mutters are together on a thing, there's too many of us to be put down. So in the end, he just called it a bonus. When we put that statue of you in town square, Hugh rolled in, wanted to tear it down, but the whole town rioted.
You guys had a riot? On account of me? My very own riot?
I can't believe you're back.
How can I stay away?
The Messiah Jayne.
Hey, Higgins. There's a problem in Workertown, sir. Jayne Cobb's come back.
That changes the whole dynamic.
You keep me in that box 4 years. You give me a loaded gun.
I'm not the one who partnered up with you and then turned on you when his plan went south.
Uh-oh.
How high up was that shuttle when he pushed you out? 30 feet? Jayne Cobb cost you 4 years of your life, plus a perfectly good eyeball. And here's the poetical portion. He's back in town. Best of luck in your new life.
Well, this just took a turn for the worse. I was like, Higgins, they can deal with, but now this guy's got a personal vendetta against Jayne, so... Very comedic tone so far this episode as well, and then it just switched right there a little bit.
Mel, no, nothing happened. No, there was some drinking, but no, we certainly didn't. No, I would never. Not with Kaylee.
What do you mean, not with me?
Yeah, Where's my hero?
Our love for me now ain't hard to explain. The hero of Canton, and they call me.
Where are you going?
Going with you.
I don't think so. No, maybe you ought to stay here. It's about the time for a civilized person to have his breakfast. That's the sort of thing would be appropriate, don't you think?
Hey, Simon, just play the long game, my friend. This is all good. Just be persistent. You'll get it eventually. Actually, I don't know. I'm not the person to give advice about girls still.
I see a menu.
I can't boast yet.
Very quiet.
Bess was like me. He was like me, but now he isn't. He a man now.
Aren't I supposed to be a man now?
A man is just a boy who's old enough to ask that question.
I'm a boy. Yay.
Our time together. It's a ritual. A symbol. It means something to your father.
I think I really made a difference in their lives. Me, Jayne Cobb.
I know your name, jackass.
You know they threw a riot on my account? A riot.
Morning, kids.
Is that Jayne? Is that really him? Gosh, pinch me. I must be dreaming.
Well, hell, I'll pinch you.
Just get on over to town square, Jayne. Friends are waiting.
You don't want to disappoint the fans as well, right? I know the job is important, but you don't want to leave the people of Canton disappointed just in case you come back here. You got to leave him with something.
Do you really think we can get this stuff across town without being noticed?
Gotta find it first.
The bar has been set by Jayne. Expectations are there.
Here we go. Let's get it dug up.
What happened when I was growing up here? He stole a ton of money from my dad and gave it to the poor, my father's workers. He's become kind of a folk hero in Canton.
Go on.
Well, he's back. Apparently, he landed here yesterday.
Yesterday.
And I was like, oh my gosh.
I know this man. He just has this idiotic sense of nobility, you know? He can never just let things go.
Talking about
He
Mal?
thinks he's this hard-hearted criminal, and he can be unrelenting. There's a side to him that's just so...
You mean you actually know Jayne?
She was talking about
Jayne?
Mal.
Jayne Cobb? You're talking about Jayne Cobb?
Yes, Jayne Cobb, the hero of Canton, the only person I ever saw who stood up to my father. My dad had him traced back to his ship. He had port control, put a landlock on it. Jayne will get back and find out that he's grounded.
Yes, that would be bad.
Even Anara was like, Jayne?
Could I just get the check, please?
Sir, look at me, you panty-waist idiot!
Simon always getting beat up, man.
No good reptile. Tell me, boy, I'll cut off every last bit of them good looks.
Ooh.
Oh, not done yet, youngin'.
If that guy can
Cost
last
you and I.
4 years in a hot box, I'm pretty sure
Come on!
a glass vase to the head is fine for him.
As far as I see it, you people have been given the shortest end of the stick ever been offered a human soul in this crap hillverse. But you took that end. And you took it. And that's, well, I guess that's something.
Wow. That didn't sound that bad.
I'm shocked my own self.
There we go, a little Mexican standoff here.
Well, Jayne gets his.
Kaylee?
Honey.
What's this about a hero of Canton? Is I hearing that right? 4 years of lockdown plays tricks on the ear.
I ain't a hero, Stitch. Just a working stiff like you.
Yep, he's right. Jayne is. Heck, we used to work together, he and I. Now, why don't you just let old Stitch speak his piece?
Go on then.
Oh, they weren't allowed. This town doesn't take weapons. That's right.
Whole lot
So
of money in a magistrate's safe, weren't there, Jayne?
they're unarmed.
But then our plane took a hit and we're going down. We dumped the fuel reserve, dumped the life support, hell, we even dumped the seats. There's Jayne, the money, and me.
Here comes the narrative.
There was no way he was gonna drop that money.
He dropped it on the mutters.
That's it, you inbred dunghead. He tossed me out first. For 6 months we run together, he turned me out before I could scream.
You'd have done the same.
You protect the man you're with. You watch his back. Everybody knows that.
You gonna talk me to death, buddy? Is that the plan?
Plan.
Damn! My guy died for Listen, if Jayne must be. We could have lost Jayne right there if it wasn't for that guy jumping. I had a feeling he was gonna throwing knife. And he's still standing. With a throwing knife in his heart. Oh, I don't think he's gonna be standing after that. No, he ain't gonna be standing. No. Yeah, no. I think he did. That was awfully quick.
Get up, please. What'd you do that for? What's wrong with you? Did you hear a word he said? All of you! You think there's someone just gonna drop money on you? Money they can use? Well, there ain't people like that. There's just people like me.
I had a feeling this episode was going to be an exploration of Jayne's character. I love how he struggled for a way with words when he was just, there at the celebration. And then when shit got serious, saw the real, you know, the rant come out. I think it's a commentary as well. Another commentary on the world building. In terms of the state of the outer planets as well, not the central ones. Gotta be that Miggins guy or something.
No. We're fine.
Nah, I think he's probably put a tracker on him again.
You did.
Oh, nice.
Set an override to port control. Lifted the landlock on Serenity.
How to wipe that smile off your head. How dare you define me?
You wanted to make a man out of me, Dad. I guess it worked.
The power of Anara. Backhand your son.
Just keep walking, preacher man.
You letting men stomp on you so much.
It wasn't exactly a plan.
Weak. You couldn't beat him back? Or would that not be appropriate?
You're never letting go of that, are you?
Well, you confound me some is all. I mean, you like me well enough, and we get along, and then you go all stiff.
I'm not, I didn't...
See, you're doing it right now.
He's choking.
What's so damn important about being proper?
He's buckling.
Don't mean nothing out here in the black.
It means more out here. It's all I have. My way of being polite, or however it's the only way I have of showing you that I like you.
So when we made love last night.
When we what?
You really are such an easy mark.
Why the hell did that mother have to go and do that for, Mel?
Yeah, that's what I was
Jumping in front of that shotgun blast.
That's what I was saying. That guy's still Jayne's still processing that. He's like, what the heck?
Hell, there weren't one of them understood what happened out there. They're sticking that statue right back up.
Most likely.
I don't know why that eats at me so.
It's my estimation that every man ever got a statue made of him was one kind of some bitch or another. Ain't about you, Jayne. It's about what they need.
They probably need... You know what? I think, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. I think the episode's going to end here. 1 second. I want you guys to listen to this. And the episode earlier on, when we had the talk with Shepard and River, they were talking about faith. In particular, Shepard was talking about, you know, faith so important. It helps you in life. It creates the person you are. You take those words or whatever you take from the Bible and you let it guide your life. And in a way, I see parallels between that and what Jayne was talking about at the end. I feel like that's what those people of Canton needed. They needed that sort of idol. They needed someone to have faith in, and that's what Jayne was. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's how I saw it in terms of like what the people needed. And obviously it was a writing component, but that guy clearly had so much faith in Jayne and idolized him, and he was so important to him in his life. He gave him hope. He was an example of him. He was an example of, you know, going against the patriarchy or the higher ups, the elites in society, and that's why they loved and adored Jayne so much, no matter how fabricated the story was. And even though Jayne's intention was never to obviously drop the cargo, that they never knew that. They saw it as a, you know, sort of like the biggest gift of all time. It was a person going against, you know, the rich, sort of a Robin Hood like story, you know, taking from the rich and giving to the poor. And that's what they saw it as, despite, you know, what actually happened. And Jayne was just so taken aback by it that people would idolize someone so much or have so much faith in something that they're willing to die for it. And in the end, obviously, it was a Jayne central story, but I think the commentary goes again to the world building aspect. And Jayne's rant at the end when he was talking about, you know what, there's only people that are in it for themselves in life. They're never gonna give back. And it just happened to be a situation where obviously because Jayne had his partner that he betrayed, and the cargo so happened to drop accidentally, and Jayne was trying to, you know, put a message and implant it in their heads that, you know, there's never gonna be someone like that again, or it's very unlikely that someone is just gonna give to you while you wait. You gotta act and act now, because otherwise life is just gonna keep going on. You're gonna be stuck in Canton in sort of the mud plantation, and you're gonna continue doing your day-to-day stuff. And that's why Jayne was a symbol of hope for them. He came out of nowhere, but he came back, sorry, the return of Jayne. And yeah, that's what he did. He rekindled their hope, and they thought he was gonna do something again, maybe. And yeah, it is what it is. In the end, that guy gave his life for Jayne, and I know it's part of the writing, but Jayne could have died right there. And I think that's what hit Jayne even harder, because you saw during the parade he was struggling with words, and it had a very comedic tone for it. But then it got hella serious when someone gave his life for Jayne, and Jayne was like, "Oh crap!" Like, it was a big "oh crap" moment. Like, I feel like this episode had sort of like a comedic tone to it. It was really fun, but then it hit you with the "oh damn" moment, like the "what the heck, what the f" moment. Like, it was like, okay, shit just got serious, and that's what it did in the end. And yeah, it was a really good episode in my opinion. Not the best of Firefly season 1. Obviously there's only one season, but not the best of Firefly so far, but a good episode nonetheless. I feel like there's not an outright bad or filler episode in Firefly. Like, they're all good. In terms of, from a writing standpoint, the comedy's great, the character interactions are great. There might be just some episodes that are lesser than others, but I still think this one is solid. And from the character we think Jayne to be, it was actually kind of you know, touching to see him like that in the end, because we see him at this big brute, you know, and sometimes, yeah, has no filter on his mouth, but at the end he was just needed that comfort from Mal, and he was just struggling to process things. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed my reaction to Firefly episode 7 titled Jaynestown. As always, it's been your boy Elie Moses. Take care, God bless, and peace.